Social media has caused multiple young men and women to question their self-worth, body image, and how the world views them. I was lucky enough to sit down with Dr. Salvery, a psychology professor at Stephen F. Austin who specializes in how people see themselves and how it affects their social skills.
There seems to be an overlap in terms of what we know about adjustment-related outcomes and specifically body image-related outcomes. So while just simply browsing Facebook or visiting social media websites may not be just overall detrimental in terms of body image, youth may visit or engage in that are risky in terms of things like body dissatisfaction or internalization of the thin ideal, or just obsessions, preoccupation with weight and appearance.
Elena Spur has had her social media accounts for 4.5 years now, and her views on how it affects girls in society was not surprising.
It definitely affects people because they see all of these people, and the hardest part is for younger kids, because most younger kids have these accounts and they're following people like the Kardashians and Kylie Jenner and like stuff like that. And it's just like, these are not what is perfect, and I think it definitely like really skews what people think as a body type. And then there's those companies that will try to make the more adverse like body types, but in the purpose of doing that, I feel like they body shame other people. Like, instead of portraying like the skinny woman, they'll put pictures of like a bigger woman but say negative things about being skinny, and it's just...
According to College USA Today, 20 out of 23 college students in Chicago believe that social media has caused anxiety or added stress to the average college student's experience. But looking at the positive and negatives, multiple people say it's almost about even.
Yes, I do. I think it could go either way. I think it, like, positive, like, even for Twitter, like, if you follow news stuff, like, you can get updated through that, but...
So I mentioned earlier that there has been this, I guess, bias in the popular media with respect to the negative aspects of social media. But I think that there are some studies that point to positive outcomes in terms of adjustment and well-being. So things like connecting with your existing peers using social media sites, or broadening your social network using social media sites. This is something that can be helpful.
LiveScience.com reports that cyberbullying on social media is linked to depression in teenagers. For example, the percentage of suicide in youth skyrocketed, but social media site Twitter announced plans in April of last year to filter out abusive tweets and suspend bullying users. Elena Spur doesn't feel like this issue is going to help.
It's still going to be there. People are going to be more bold behind something. Even if they know who it is, they're going to be bold saying it, not in person. It's definitely an issue, but it doesn't have to be, because, I mean, if kids you can turn it off. I mean, I've never done it, but I mean, like, I knew people in high school that would do it. I mean, my senior year, there was all sorts of stuff about people, like, saying things about other people, like, via, like, Vine or something like that. Like, there's going to be bullying, there's going to be, like, body shaming, and it's just, there's a lot of negative.
But the ongoing issue of how young is too young for social media is still a major topic.
Ooh, I don't know. I think I was in 8th grade when I first got Facebook.
Maybe high school? I don't know if it was sometime in high school. It was either my freshman year or, like, 8th grade, maybe.
Any social experience that has strengths and weaknesses, or positives and negatives. I think parents, teachers, coaches, people who work with youth just simply need to be aware of the types of activities that may be risky.
When asked a question about parental control on the younger generation's social media, Sarah Cooper expressed how her parents did monitor hers at a young age.
Yeah, mine were. When I first got mine, my parents monitored it. Just like they had to know my password, my username and password, like they would look at it. They would make sure to only friends with people from school, like all that.
Well, I think it would be intrusive to entirely wipe Facebook and social media from a child's life unless they're experiencing some difficulties. But thinking about ways to make sure they're aware of the maladaptive behaviors or those things that could be risky.
Social media is used to communicate with families, friends, coworkers, and even large corporations. It is without a doubt affecting society. And with East Texas Explorer, I'm Katie Woods.